Watch this. I'm 30 seconds into my feed here on social media, and I'm counting how many posts disagree with anything I already think. And so far, I've hit 23 posts, 0 disagreement. And see, look, yours probably looks similar and it feels normal to you, okay? Because what you're seeing actually matches what you already think. But feeling normal, well, it doesn't mean you're right about everything. It means the app has figured out what you'll keep scrolling for, okay? And it's only, well, going to show you exactly that. So you think you're getting news, but you're getting a mirror that talks back to you. And when the mirror only ever agrees with you, your judgment quietly stops working. So you start to think anyone who disagrees is either lying or pretty much stupid. You bring things up at dinner that maybe nobody else has heard of, and it makes you feel, let's say, more informed. I mean, you're not more informed, you're more isolated, and that's the cost, my friend. So here's what you're going to walk out of this video with, okay? A way to look at your own phone in about 90 seconds and see whether your feed, your social media feed, is showing you the world or whether it's showing you a custom version of yourself that the app keeps polishing for you. See, it's a small test, and it's best of all, it's free. You can run it anytime, tonight, tomorrow, today, after you watch this video. And once you've done that, once you've run the test, you can't unsee what it actually tells you. But before I hand you the test, I want to show you how the machinery actually works. Because once you see the machinery, the test makes even more sense. And the test, well, it sticks. 2 things first, then I'm going to give you the tool, okay? So the question isn't whether your feed is doing this. It is, okay? The question is, how is it doing it? So here's the simple version. Every time you tap something, the app makes a note. If you stop scrolling for more than half a second, it makes another note. Watch a short video twice, that gets logged as well. See, those notes have a name and they're called engagement signals. Every tap, every pause, every replay, the app is keeping a file on you, not metaphorically speaking though, literally a file on you. So look at this video right here. I watched this video twice last week, just twice, and today 3 more videos like it are in my first 10 posts. Oh, and this account here, check out this account. This account, I liked one of their posts last week. Now they're in my feed every day. 3 other accounts that post the same kind of thing have shown up alongside of that one type of content. And that's not random, my friend. The app is actually doing a job, and the job is keeping you on the app. So the way it keeps you here is by showing you more of what already worked on you. So if you pause on outraged post, your feed gets more outraged. Stop on calming content, you get more calming content. 3 seconds on a particular kind of political take, you'll see 50 more of those by Friday. I guarantee you. So you're not picking your feed. Your feed is picking itself based on you. So what I just described is the simple version, the version most people sort of know, okay? What most people don't know is that the app actually stopped just matching what you click. It started predicting what you're going to want to click before you actually even know it. Here's the part that's harder to feel. See, these apps don't just remember what you like. They model who you are. They take everything you've ever tapped, pair that with everything other people who tap in the same way that you've done, and they predict your future, not your distant future, your next 10 minutes. So when you open the app at lunch, the first 3 videos you see weren't picked because they match your past. They were picked because the app guessed, basically that's what you'd be interested in or in the mood for, right at that moment. Sometimes the guess is wrong, but most of the time it's not wrong. Think about what that actually means. See, you're not really browsing, you're being served. The app isn't trying to find content you're going to like. It's already decided what you're going to like next, and it's basically filling your screen with that information or that content. So every time the prediction lands, your brain learns to trust the feed a little more because, well, the feed keeps giving you stuff that fits. That trust is the trap. See, the feed gives you what fits what you already think. Whether it's true, that's a separate question. The platform isn't graded on truth, it's graded on whether you stayed. And if anyone's wondering whether platforms can really do this on purpose, here's documented proof. You see, in 2014, Facebook ran an experiment on 689,000 users. They changed what those users saw in their feeds without telling them anything. And some users got more positive content while some got less. And actually, it worked. See, the users who saw less positive content tended to post less positive content themselves. The users who saw less negative content, well, they posted less negative content. Their move basically moved with the feed. And the journal that published the study had to issue a formal statement of concern because the users hadn't been asked permission, to have their feeds switched like that. They basically agreed to the terms of service when they signed up for Facebook, and Facebook's position was that the terms of service counted as consent. Most ethicists, well, they disagreed. The journal disagreed, and the rules around that kind of research have been tightening ever since. And that was 12 years ago, my friend, and the systems running your feed today are vastly more powerful than the one in that particular experiment. So here's where the cost stops showing up on your phone and starts showing up at the dinner table. You and your spouse or your brother or the friend you've known for 15 years, you both have phones, okay? You both scroll, you both think you're keeping up with the same world. You're not. See, for 2 years now, maybe 3, the app has been writing each of you a completely different, we'll say newspaper. Yours has a front page that confirms what you already think, and so does his. But they're not the same front page. They're not even the same newspaper. So when you sit down to dinner and you bring up something you saw and it doesn't match what he saw, you feel frustrated, not curious. And you know what? That's the signal. To you, the thing seems obvious. I mean, he's been awake all day, and how could he not know about this information? But he didn't see what you saw. He saw his own version. And you saw, well, basically your version. And those two versions barely overlap anymore. When two people who used to agree start arguing more, the easy explanation is, well, one of them changed. And the harder explanation is they got fed completely different information all day for several years. And neither of them noticed anything. And that's an architect problem, not a problem with their relationship, okay? So you're working from different inputs, and the inputs were built that way pretty much on purpose. See, Pew Research has tracked this information, and so has MIT Media Lab. The data is consistent. People who use the same platform end up with information diets so different they can barely be said to be looking at the same news anymore. And the closer the relationship, the worse the cost, because you expected to share a world with that specific person. You're discovering, dinner by dinner, that you actually don't. So here's what you can do about it, okay? The tool is called the mirror test, and it takes about, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and you can run it anytime you want on your own phone. And here's the thing. You already watched me do step 1. Remember the start of this video here? The 30-second scroll, the count I had on the content I was looking at? That was step 1. I'm going to give you the other 2 steps now. So step 2 is scroll your feed for 30 seconds, okay? Just normally, like you're doing, every day before you go to bed, when you wake up. And don't try to find anything in, particular, okay? And then step 3, what I want you to go back to the top of your feed. Count something very specific. How many of the posts you just scrolled past actually disagreed with something you already believe? Not made you uncomfortable, not were from a different angle, but actually disagreed. Argued the opposite of something you already think. If you count 0, your feed is a mirror. And see, most people land at 0, and that's the result. That's the problem. But the difference is you can see it now. Now, at this point, after you've run the test, you've got 2 choices, okay? You can leave the feed alone, but now you know what it is, and you're scrolling with your eyes open rather than closed. And that alone right there, that's going to change things for you. Or you could do something about it. You could be active, proactive about it. Follow 3 accounts that disagree with you on something you actually care about. Do this for 1 week. Click on stuff that doesn't already match what you think. Watch what basically happens to your feed. I mean, when I do it, mine goes haywire. It doesn't know what to feed me. But either way, the first move is the test. Run it weekly. Run it whenever something you read feels too good to be true. Run it whenever you find yourself nodding along with everything you see for an hour straight or 2 hours. See, the feed isn't going anywhere, but your eyes can be open while you're basically scrolling it. So the feed isn't the only system designed to do this to you. See, once you can see one piece of the machinery, you start seeing others. The headlines you read, the notifications you act on, even the arguments people are having around you. And most of it is running on the same logic. Predict you, confirm you, and keep you there. See, this video was about your feed, and the feed is the closest one to you, the one your hand is on right now. So I found it to be the right place to start. Look, run this test this week on your own phone. with the app or the social media app that you typically use. And once you've run it, your eyes will basically be open in a way that you hadn't seen before. And once that happens, my friend, you can't go back. On that note, I want to thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Think sharper, stay sovereign.